Now, if I brought a pig into this room now, say a live pig, and I said to you, kill this animal using what you were biologically given, because all natural animal eaters in the wild kill the prey that they eat using what they were biologically given, which is their claws and their canines. So if I said to you, kill this pig using what you were biologically given, how many of you think you'd be able to do that? I mean, let's be honest, when you try to maul that pig would probably roll over and accept a little tickle off you. And let me tell you that pigs absolutely love belly rubs. If anyone's ever spent time with pigs, you can vouch for this. They love belly rubs. So when you were trying to maul that pig would roll over and accept a belly rub right there in front of you. You see, the utensils that we have for killing are very rudimentary and very crude. We're not effective predators. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that you do kill that pig. And now in front of you is not only a dead pig, but that pig carcass is now open. You've effectively butchered the pig, and in front of you lays the open carcass of that once living pig. Are you going to eat the raw meat? What about the organs, like the intestines and the cartilage and the tendons and the ligaments and the brain, all that nasty stuff that we don't like to think about? Are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat around that? What always strikes me as strange is that when people see these parts of animals, they say that it puts them off their food. When people see graphic content like this, they often say to me, I don't want to see that, it'll put me off my food. Why? Why would seeing the process of how meat and animal products turn up on your plate put you off eating them? If you were naturally meant to eat animals, not only would you be able to watch them being killed, you'd be able to kill them yourself. Yet so many of us feel the opposite of hunger when we see animals being killed. We feel repulsed, we feel angry, we feel sad, we feel frustrated. We don't understand why they're suffering so much. If we were natural animal eaters, this wouldn't faze us at all. Yet that's one of the most common things that people say to me. I don't want to watch the documentary because it'll put me off my food. Why is this? Say I bring a cow into this room now, and I present you all with a freshly sharpened knife. And I say, who of you will cut the throat of this cow? Would any of you volunteer to do so? Say instead of a cow, it's now a 6-month-old lamb that I bring into this room. And I say, who of you will decapitate this lamb, cut their leg off, and have a lamb shank? Would any of you do so? More importantly, let's say someone did volunteer to do so. How many of you would object? How many of you would oppose that person killing the animal, stop them, or at the very least turn away, walk out and pretend it's not going to happen? Say you're walking down the road and you see someone beating and abusing a dog. Do you step in? Do you intervene? Do you try and stop them, or at the very least, do you call the police? Now, say instead of a dog, it's a pig that's been abused, killed, and beaten in front of you. Do you still object? Do you still intervene? Do you still try and save that pig's life? At the very least, do you still call the police? Now, say that pig that's been abused in front of you is now being abused behind a wall where you can no longer see them. Does that now make it moral? Is the killing moral if it's out of sight and out of mind? Or is unnecessary killing always morally reprehensible? How many of us would oppose seeing an animal being killed in front of us, but go home and eat fried pig flesh, fried cow flesh, or a lamb leg? For almost 21 years of my life, I consumed meat, dairy, and egg products. It's not just that I consumed them, I loved them, right? I loved how they tasted. I'd have them every single day of my life. I went into my local KFC so often that the people who worked there knew me by my name and knew what my favorite order was. Now, as a vegan, I eat all the foods that I used to eat, all the foods that I used to enjoy, all the foods that I used to crave. I ate mac and cheese and spaghetti bolognese and lasagna and stir fries and curries and burritos and nachos and fajitas and tacos. I ate cupcakes and muffins and cheesecakes and chocolate cakes and sweets. I ate all the foods I used to love, all the foods I used to crave. But now I do so without harming animals. There's no dead animals, there's no exploited animal secretions, there's no gristle, there's no hormones, there's no antibiotics. They're made from plants. How simple is that, right? Sometimes people say to me, veganism is restrictive. Now, before I was vegan, I had one type of milk, cow's milk. Now I have oat milk and rice milk and soy milk and coconut milk and almond milk and cashew milk and hazelnut milk. I cook with ingredients and foods I'd never heard of before I went vegan. When I used to open my fridge, it would look like a morgue. It would just be dead chickens everywhere. Sometimes the occasional dead cow, maybe the occasional dead pig, predominantly dead chicken. Now when I open up my fridge, it's a garden. There's so many colours. There's such a beautiful array of foods I look forward to cooking. Going vegan encouraged me to reinvent the ways that I cooked. Cook with ingredients I'd never heard of. And because of that, I enjoy my food so much more than I ever did, because it allowed me to reinvent my culinary experience and explore flavours I'd never considered as being something that I should eat.